Hola, hola, it's Nereida, and I have a tarot message for us. Today is April 11th, and today we had what is called a Mercury Cazimi. This is usually around the midpoint of Mercury retrograde period, and it is considered to be a moment of enlightenment where Mercury aligns with the sun, and it gives us this moment of illumination into some aspect of our mental realm, like thoughts, communications, ideas, that perhaps we had not received yet before. Today, there was this opportunity for that, maybe a seed planted in that. So, without getting into the story too much about why the cards are already laid out, um, I just got to a point earlier when I was doing the reading where I suddenly felt really tired and I just had to take a step back from it. So I did, and now I feel like it's time to come back to it. So I'm just going to start from the beginning um, and, you know, do my best to give it all justice. Okay, so I have to say, um, today I started with an oracle card from the Falname. This is a Turkish and Iranian oracle of Turkish and Iranian practice. And it's a modern take on this traditional form of oracle. So, this card in particular is numbered 27. So, the number 27 could be significant for you, or the number 9, which is a number of completion, of a cycle completing. And the energy is rigor. And I do believe that they mean like rigor of the soul, like soul level rigor, like just being sitting in the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it's rigorous. And there's this balance of the elements in this card that, gave me a sense of tranquility and calmness amidst something challenging, okay? I noticed some of the eyes. I don't even know what that is. Like what the sun rays on the water. It's really interesting because like these two, looks like a flower, yet there's like the leaves look like wings, and there's some kind of like life given to these objects that we don't really, see as having the same level of life, I guess, as not level, but embodiment, I guess you could say. Ugh, it's weird the way that they're pointing it out to me. Okay, they just look like little beings, right? So there is actually a fish here. So, and it's interesting that that fish is looking at the fire. Trying to get to the water, but kind of like the fire's in the way. Interesting. I didn't see that earlier. Now, another thing that I was noticing here too is that the face of the man here looks either like super concentrating hard on this rose, on this white rose. And it reminded me of a card that was in the last reading that I posted, where there was the oracle said something about focusing on all that is pure in order to, be able to move through some kind of challenge, some kind of hardship. And this card carries that very similar energy. And I read it, I'm going to read it again in this one. And I just want to remind you that this is a translation, so it's probably not going to do it justice, but you'll, just feel the sense of what this is. Like, don't try to make it too much, don't, try to like make it too much sense in your brain. Just feel into it, okay? Energetically. Sinner is fed with evil. Scarlet flames are blown. Innocent falls into doom, but spirit and body guard faith. Skirt becomes bed of roses. Tyranny flames turn into water. Tyrant is ashamed of rigor. Oppressed reaches peace. It feels like some kind, to me, let me just give you a moment. I feel like I started talking right after that, and I just needed to give it a moment. I'm going to read it again, okay? Sinner is fed with evil. Scarlet flames are blown. Innocent falls into doom, but spirit and body guard faith. Skirt becomes bed of roses. Tyranny flames turn into water. Tyrant is ashamed of rigor. Oppressed reaches peace. Something that I did not get in the last reading is a feeling of balance here, in a way where there's a situation that is coming into balance after you could have been dealing with an energy in your life that felt like tyranny, whether it was coming from inside of you, and or somehow somebody embodying that in your life. And somehow there being this moment of transformation through sitting in something, in the fire. Like maybe some moment of calling, like, it's like I'm seeing somebody calling someone out, and then like suddenly realizing the shit that they've been doing or that they did, and feeling this like deep shame, and really going through this like process of, oh, like, wow, I didn't even realize that I was overcome with my own need for whatever that satisfaction was, to have power over that, because a tyrant is somebody that is power hungry, control hungry. Okay, so yeah, and there's this, at the end it says oppressed reaches peace. And remember when I talked about the number 9 being like the end of a cycle? And I feel like this is like, wow, I'm getting really strong like ancestral vibes. Like, wow, like this is deep. Okay, if you're feeling into what I'm feeling into right now, just in the collective, that's like deep. Okay. Um, and I'm, I'm a little at loss for words at the moment, trying to make sense of what it is that I want to share about this. What I wanted to say this is that when I sit down to do a reading, there are times when I can put, like the thread comes through, and it's like everyday things, everyday experiences, and everyday relational experiences. And I always know that, those are just, that's just a story of the micro of what's happening in the macro. And so there are times like right now when I read that I get this very big sense of something that's like, bigger than just one person. This is something an energy that's like bigger than that, and speaking to all of the collective as one. The oppressed reaches peace. Okay, so all right, I'm going to move on because I was going to go into a deep tangent and I'm not sure if I'm ready to go there yet. I'll lose track of the rest of the reading. So, with that being said, we come into the Ten of... I feel like this light could be brighter. Okay, well, interesting. All right, so the Ten of Wands comes to talk about a releasing of a heavy burden, something that has, been a lot of work but carried a lot of potential, okay? And that's why there was, this figure was carrying it, because that's why the commitment of this, whoever this figure is that was carrying that burden, there was this maybe an awareness too of the potential that these things had, being stuck into the ground where they have a resource where they can be nourished instead of him carrying them around. Okay. I'll come back to that. But this is the end of a cycle. We talked about, cycles earlier as well with that number 9. So 9, 10. All right. And this energy here, the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is an energy of being in a position of being able to give from a place of balance, weighing out how much you give. There's an emphasis, your eye usually goes directly to the person wearing all the red, because red demands attention, right? It grabs our attention. It's also very protective energy, the red. And so I was interested in, as I was studying this card, I was really interested in how the hat is red, the scarf, the cape, the belt and the pants. So like very much, protected, while also remaining from like in a place of purity and softness with that blue and the white in the tunic, which to me reminds me of the element of water, the feminine. So we also see a balance here of masculine and feminine energy. I'm also noticing the prime colors. Red, yellow, blue. One other thing that I noticed was the green boots and how they're almost to his knee. So I was feeling like this is somebody that, does a lot of traversing, is the way that I'm seeing it. Like not afraid to traverse certain spaces, will go where others won't go. Those are all little things that I'm hearing in regards to this energy. I did get this feeling that you are somebody that has perhaps carried a lot of burdens in your life, things that you may have thought were your responsibility, only to discover that, wow, look at that, I have the choice to put these down. And if they weren't my responsibilities, allow the whoever's responsibility they were to like pick it up from there, or nourish it in a different way, like hold it in a different way in your being. But overall, it's like the end of something heavy, something being put down, released. And then moving into this place of like you can see that this looks like two people like almost begging for money. And this person being like, yeah, here, I have something to give. And again, I can see this in the great scheme of things. And I can also see it on a personal sense, on a personal, like, theme where after a period of carrying these heavy burdens, being able to give to those people that perhaps are in the position where you were at one point. Maybe you went through something difficult and now you can help others because you know what it's been like. And that's why you feel this like, it's almost like a sense of responsibility too. Okay, so there's also this perspective of like, well, where do you find yourself right now? Are you the person that is needing the help? Feeling like you could really use somebody's generosity. Um, I paused because I was like, do I like how that sounds? Use someone's generosity. But I think what I really meant is that you could really benefit from somebody's generosity, perhaps, or you feel that way. Now, I'm also drawn to the shape that these three are standing in. They are standing in a triangle, pointing upward. So it's very much like masculine energy. And there's a sense of like some like of stability. Do you know it's really interesting what's coming in right now too. Because I'm reminded of the tyrant in the first card. And I don't know, it just kind of felt like all this like hard work and feeling maybe like not compensated for the amount of heavy work that this has been. However, I do see the Four of Wands at the end, so I'm not sure if that's a thread that's going to resonate maybe to a few. I don't know, that might be some kind of affirming like factor like, oh yeah, that's an energy that's been alive. But the Four of Wands is a card of celebration and stability and commitment and coming together. This is a union. Again, I see the blue and the red. So this is, a feminine, masculine, alchemical process here of like coming together and creating something. I'm drawn to say like from the burdens put down here, like you go, I know it's going backwards, but that doesn't matter. Like it's like this feeling of putting down the burdens and stepping into a period of being able to like balance how you give your energy and coming into union, whether that's with another person or perhaps the inner union that can happen on the spiritual journey of the masculine and the feminine aspects of ourselves. Perhaps unifying these energies within us of being the person that can give and also being the person that needs to receive, right? That's definitely a beautiful balance to be able to give and receive equally in any situation. Now, something that's like really, for some reason, I'm noticing right now is that in these two figures, the one in the blue, which I'm assuming they both actually look very feminine. They both have like feminine energies to me. And I'm wondering, are they cheering somebody else on? But it is seen as the card of commitment, and in modern tarot, people call this the 1111 card because of the, you know, the four wands. But the number 4 is a card of stability. So this is, you know, yeah, a celebration of union. And I don't know what the structure is called where, you know, in the Jewish practice, people get married under. I can't remember right now, but that's what that reminds me of. Okay, so another thing too that I wanted to point out was that the figure in the red, one hand is pointing like down and the right hand is pointing up. So left hand is, I almost like feel like the attention is drawing me towards the earth. So there is this, it reminds me of the magician energy where one hand is pointing down and one is up. So signifying being able to bring something, you know, down from the ethers, some kind of manifestation of some sort. Creation energy. So coming together with some kind of unifying force, celebrating that force, coming together. And now I'm also drawn to the castle in the background. There's people in the background as well. It looks like, you know, you can't really tell what they're doing, but if it's a celebration, I can only assume they're like dancing or celebrating. Super happy vibes, you know? So then we get into the energies that might be, you know, around you in your life, kind of showing up in your life. This is more of an internal process as well, or something that could have already happened, or you're in the process of. We have the 4 of Swords with the Empress and the 6 of Wands. And so I was really feeling a very feminine energy again, and the Empress shows up again. She was in my last reading. And she shows up again, and I see this energy of retreat, of laying something to rest as well. And this could have been like, you know, some oppressive thoughts as well, that shame that the card of rigor spoke about at the beginning. But this is like putting those things to rest. This is like resting your mind. This is deep rest, contemplation, 4 of Swords, the period after the 3 of Swords. You see the 3 swords are what's kind of like the energy that is pointing towards mind, heart, power. But however, he's depicted kind of like, it feels like there is a purposeful separation of color here between the person resting being the same color as the platform that he's resting on and the sword under him. So I just feel like there's like this deep contemplation after a time of like maybe like grief even. And I also want to point out this similar stance here of someone giving to someone, you know, I'm going to be as mature as possible here. And someone kneeling, you know. Okay, and moving on. The Empress, this could be the energy of a mother. I'm really getting mother vibes here for sure. This is nonetheless, this is a very abundant, like fruit, something coming to fruition from that respite, from that being able to contemplate some sort, like what I feel here is like the Ace of Swords moment after the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords being, again, that, if you know tarot, or, you've seen this card before, it's the card with the three swords in the heart. So there, that's something's come into fruition. I also see, again, a very motherly energy here, okay? And it could be somebody that is expecting, somebody that's pregnant, but I also feel like in a mature woman. I can't remember. I wonder where I can find that, if I have something that would tell me that. I just cannot remember what sign the Empress is. I want to say Libra because I see the Venus symbol on her. I'm not 100% sure though, but that is what I'm getting, because I do believe Libra is ruled by Venus. I can't remember the other sign that's ruled by Venus. And I'm using my phone to record, so I can't look, but I'm trying to think if there's any other resource where I can find that. So just bear with me for a moment. I'm looking at my cards here. Can't remember which one. Maybe this one. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Venus, specifically, Taurus, actually, excuse me. Venus and Taurus specifically. That's very specific, Venus and Taurus. Okay, well, I definitely picked up Libra as well for some reason. So Libra and Taurus. So, okay. Six of Wands. This is celebration. This is team effort. This is victory over something, success, being recognized for recognition, rewards. Okay. And so I'm going to go a little bit deeper with these cards, because this is kind of where I started to, it was when I got to this card, actually, the Four of Swords earlier, that I got really tired. I just felt my energy go down, okay? And so that could have been some energy that, you've been dealing with. But it was just like, must rest. All right. It reminds me of this little video that I posted of, that's too many cards, of Yoda. The other day was an eclipse meme. Anyway, all right. So can I get a clarity card, please, for this Ten of Wands? What is this Ten of Wands, Spirit? Okay, Knight of Swords. There's action, there's movement here. There is speeding away from some kind of release, but like you can see that this knight is moving very quickly, okay? Moving towards something, all right? So perhaps as soon as this burden is released, there's going to be this air of action, like an energy of like sudden moving forward, okay? You can even see all the birds flying towards the same direction the Knight of Swords is going. Okay, let's see. What is this? Oh, that was the Three of Swords. What is this Six of Pentacles, Spirit? And of course, okay, so these three, I mean, these I'm not taking. Okay, there's three cards here. And to clarify, this Six of Pentacles, I wanted to say before I get into this card that the lightness that you'll feel by releasing some kind of heavy burden, which will happen when it needs to happen. All it takes is the choice to, and the realization that you can put it down. There will be this lightness of being. Okay, but it's like you can tell that this is kind of maybe even like rushing into a storm or rushing through a storm. Okay, so to clarify the Six of Pentacles, we have the Devil card with the Star card with the Two of Wands. The devil is the devil any way that you place the card. Whether, the other day I was reading it this way, and I was very focused on the lotus. It popped up this way. I was really focused on the lotus. But at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, the devil's the devil, though. The devil, okay, if you're talking astrology, this is Capricorn energy, okay? Star Aquarius energy. So, interesting. Venus and Taurus. All right. Okay. So anyway, the devil is often depicted with a masculine and a feminine energy being chained to the devil. Now, in Gnostic teachings, okay, the Kundalini energy is seen as a creative force that could either be attained for spiritual advancement or attachment of the flesh. Okay, I don't know what I just said right now. Or attainment of things of the flesh, material things. And so when it is used, when that energy is used more for pleasure, like earthly pleasures, it is said that the human grows a tail that digs in downward. Okay, it attaches downward. When it is directed upward, that energy is taken upward into the more spiritual realms. Okay? And so this is an energy of some kind of attachment to something that is not necessarily of the spiritual realm, but more of something that has that fulfills an energy that is low vibrational. Okay, that's the only way to describe that energy. It's low vibrational attachments, toxic attachments to people, substances, sex, whatever you want to put in there. It's an attachment to that. It can even be an attachment to something, like the healing journey, like the Star card here, and forever being on that healing journey and never, embodying, attaining that balance, right? So I'm hearing there's a choice here. There's a choice here to continue to give to this energy, I'm very drawn to the red rose here and the figure of this light being coming to the maiden that is pouring the, I don't know why I want to say it this way, but like pouring out emotion, you know, just giving of the heart. Releasing, what is this trying to tell me here? This energy here feels like not, I don't know, although these three came in together, it feels separate from these two. How can, there's something that's not in your life yet. There's someone that's not quite in your life yet. And it's almost like I'm not sure if it's telling me that there's an attachment, not, there's like some kind of like low vibrational attachment to that, but the star card really, there's, the star card is the star card as well, and there's no way around it. This is like a very healing energy. So I'm gonna like just let this sit for a moment while I keep going, and we'll come back to it. Because that thread it like, no, not these cards, it like wants to come in, but something is like not letting me see it fully. So okay, I'm not ready yet. So 4 of Wands, please. This is the Knight of Cups. So I do feel multiple people here, okay? There are 2 young energies, like younger feeling energies, but also the knights are the messengers of the king, right? They're the ones that go out and give the, you know, relay the orders of the king. So it could be that part of you that is, you know, like bringing forth a message from your higher self, your inner self. And this would be the offering of something emotional. You can see that the horse is totally immersed, not immersed, excuse me, but like stepping in the water. Keeping some distance from the knight, like, you know, I'm cut, like, even though I'm standing in all of this emotion, I'm only going to share with you what's in this small cup or this goblet. And I see like this guarded, somebody that's guarded from their emotions. Now, it's really interesting because it's here to clarify the 4 of Wands, which would denote a commitment. So maybe there's some kind of commitment of slowly sharing emotions, you know, or you're in a commitment with somebody that is only shows, you know, a little bit of emotion, but you know that there's depth there. Okay, let's see. What is this 4 of Swords? That's really interesting. The 3 of Swords. Okay, remember I talked about the 3 of Swords with this card, and I saw it when I was shuffling. I knew it wanted to come. It was most likely going to come out. because this grief, this pain has a voice, okay? This pain wants to communicate something. And it is the amount of cleansing and forgiveness that has had to happen through this pain. It's so dramatic. It is very harsh pain that potentially was, I'm hearing just like left to bleed out. Okay. And so that pain has something still to say here. And there is a sense of still kind of moving through that grief sometimes, being aware that even through the celebrations and the small offerings of kindness and emotion that you have the energy to give, there is this sense of grief. What is the Empress here? The Nine of Wands. So I'm really feeling the lack of perhaps self-love, being like seen, I don't know, like the image of somebody that sees themselves as like beaten down. And yet with the Empress, there's this like compassion and grace for that energy. And I'm noticing the sun and the moon on his armor. So again, more of that polarity of the masculine and feminine energies, opposites. Perhaps this wounding was in relation to an Empress energy, a motherly figure. Perhaps this is the maternal wound. For some of us, the people that first broke our hearts are our parents. And sometimes when we relate to other people outside of us, when we're in these like deep commitments, these woundings can get triggered, and we're forced, well, not forced, because some people never really want to look at that. They stay guarded in their emotions, and they never want to look at the root causes of where this grief comes from. And there's a sense here of feeling like, just being at the tail end of this wounding with the feminine as well. Like this is also, I'm feeling, as a collective, the wounding of the feminine, the constant oppression of the feminine aspect, and doing everything in such a like forceful way. And, really everybody as a collective realizing that, something's not working. It's just creating more pain. It's just creating more grief, more heartbreak, more pain. Did I already say that? Did I say pain? Because I meant to say pain. Okay. And like feeling like, okay, I got this one last wand here. I don't feel like I got much to give, but I'm gonna fight for this feminine. Ooh, just had a big release in my neck. What is the Six of Wands, Spirit? I thought that one was gonna pop out, and I just, all right, I'm going to take these two. I heard it loud and clear. Oh, very interesting. Seven, I'm sorry, the Chariot, the number 7, with the King of Cups, this Knight of Cups. Love this. I love this energy. Here I see a complete process of growth, of realization, of processing of grief, of emotions, realizing the pain of the feminine aspect of oneself or outside of oneself, and coming into a place of recognizing the strength it takes to control the reins of life, to be able to come from a place of emotional intelligence, to be able to walk, to be able to walk in that realm of the subconscious, to reign over that, to reign over your own subconscious, your own world of emotion. This is Cancer Pisces energy here. Chariot, Cancer, King of Cups. I'm feeling Pisces, although he can be any water sign, but you can see really clearly. Oh, actually, I don't know if you can see very clearly. You can see very clearly the fish here on his chain, coming in to clarify the 6 of Wands. Yeah, the Chariot, I'm also feeling Leo vibes here, because this is a lion on his armor. And I don't know why I'm thinking of the never-ending story. Do you remember when he's going to walk through the gates and there's these two like faces? And this is really beautiful symbology. I really love this. The enlightenment, the clear seeing. And the beginning of the journey of really integrating, of like moving forward with integration. Blue, I don't know why I said blue. Black and the white sphinxes here. And you see the caduceus here. Again, symbolizing Ida and Pingala, that Kundalini energy that we talked about earlier when this guy came out. So, with the help, with some kind of help, somebody's like, I don't know, I'm feeling somebody generous, but there's been some kind of offering of extension of kindness, I think, that has helped some kind of healing of a very toxic energy. And it does feel like, very masculine. It could be just in general the collective, we all have, there's all the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine. And so I'm really feeling this, like, the toxic masculine energy, and having the ability to kind of regain, call back power. I don't know, like I'm really feeling this, the way that this figure is holding that sphere of light, like, and looking out to the sun. It's like reflecting the own, the own illumination within you, the sun within us, and holding that power, being able to take power over this toxic energy, and to welcome in a new way of seeing, this masculine energy. And instead of getting overcome by the, like the attachments that perhaps once overtook, like the power over, and now be coming from a place of like witnessing. And it's really interesting energy that, this is almost like the light, like I'm seeing this person calling in their inner masculine. Like, I think that's, I don't know, like maybe somebody will share, but I feel like when you're really calling in, a partner, or you're calling in, manifesting something in your life, for example, you really like the way to attract it to you is to really embody that energy and to really live in a way that you already have it. Okay, and so this is really giving that kundalini energy of the embodiment of the masculine and the feminine coming together. And I think if you are somebody that is in a relationship, it is like, or looking for a relationship, this is somebody that will, if they're not already in your life, they'll be reflecting a new masculine energy. This is not what you're used to in the past. This is not, coming from like a place of these toxic attachments anymore. However, I do feel like very strongly that that's, you know, um, perhaps something that will always have to be, you know, not always, but just while that, when, in that integration process, it's something that we have to make sure that we have some sense of power over. Um, yeah. Okay, did we talk about how great the last cards are with the Chariot and the King of Cups? This is definitely giving me moving forward vibes. This is like more celebration, okay, and very strong emotional balance. This is like commitment and, like, how do I say this? It's just very good in the realm of like of moving forward with the things that you're hoping to move forward with in your life, and anything that is in your emotional world, whether it's being in a relationship, going deeper into a relationship, because that's really what I'm getting here is like, offering more, as opposed to the Knight of Cups where he's armored and, not quite, I don't know, just protected from this emotion, right? Then the King of Cups sits here on a throne over that water, over the subconscious realm, over being able to float in a stone, like a stone. Although here it looks like rocks. There, it's just like a built-in throne to the subconscious realm, the emotional realm, and it just feels very, yeah, solid and successful energy here. And we talked about this in the last, or maybe actually I didn't go too much into it, but I really felt in the last reading too with the Empress that as a collective we're really reconciling with the energy of the feminine. it is just where we are at collectively. We are realizing a lot of people are waking up to, just how much we have beaten down our feminine. And that is not just to say women, okay? This is like the feminine in all of us. This is Mother Nature. Mother Nature is feminine in like it's the life-giving force. And how much we've, created pain in that part of ourselves by perhaps giving from a place of lack, of like giving to overpower, I don't know why this is like giving, like, the way that just that we see in the government play out, like people that need help and they only like help them only so far, and it keeps those people trapped in this like place of lack, that they can never bust out of. They can never come out of that because they're always kept on these like a little like breadcrumbs, So on a personal level too, it could feel, I don't know, there was a thread there about being breadcrumbed, some kind of energy being, just giving just enough to keep somebody, some energy like hooked, just enough, just a little bit. I'm just going to give you a little bit to keep you in this feeling of feeling attached and trapped into some lustful situation. But what I'm hearing, from my guides is like holding your power, being able to hold your power allows you to see beyond that and to see beyond what is being given here and stay focused instead on the healing of that energy within you. And it's interesting that she's pouring water from both hands onto and it's almost like, oh, I see. Do you see this carafe is actually pouring water into the grass where the rose is like growing from, but also that water, that whatever she's nourishing within herself, that element of the mother. See how she's like almost like part of the grass, and like he is part of the water. This masculine is part of that water, part of what she is nourishing herself with. Like she's literally manifesting this like transparent, clear, masculine energy from the nourishment that she gives to her own soil, like to her own, that is, I love that. The oppressed finds peace. All right, let's wrap this up. I have no idea how long I've been going. Ooh, yeah, just under an hour. So I'm just going to pick maybe one card from this, one or two cards. Who knows? We'll see. From the Bluebird, Lenormand. It's funny because I was like, I'm really thinking about this Mercury Cazimi today. This is a big realization. This is a lot. So I feel like this one is ours. Oh, the Scythe again? Okay. Oh, I love that it came up over that Ten of Wands. That's perfect. This card. The Moon. One more card. This one. The Star. Yeah, stars, excuse me. Oh, look at that. And I really was seeing those like shooting stars. Like, this is like a wish of healing with the masculine, it feels like. It doesn't have to be with anybody outside of you. This is like inner, how you view the masculine inside of you, which will in turn heal how you relate to the masculine outside of you. So I love how these came out. I wasn't really planning it like this, but I always, just follow the energy. The Scythe, we learned in that last reading that the scythe cuts things that need to be cut. This is like energy that is fast moving. If something needs, you see the knight, and now I get it, the knight of swords, some kind of information that perhaps was received, some kind of there's something that creates this moment of like, I'm done with this burden, I'm done with it, I'm putting it down. Okay. The scythe cuts bare. Danger stalks too. Of strangers beware, they can harm you. If nearby cards hold favorable view, which we do have favorable cards, with swift action you'll overcome too. Okay, the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, and the Ten of Wands is the completion. Okay, of something. 10-10. All right. We have the Moon card. The slumbering moon, when it rises near, means that great honors are bound to appear. Intuition and perception soar in the night. Emotions wax and wane in the moon's light. All right. I feel like really, this is again, subconscious energy. This is intuitive energy, feminine energy. Something has been highlighted, something has been revealed that gives some kind of new, shines a new light on perhaps, the ways that perhaps you gave more than you received, or perhaps giving from a place of taking. I talked about that before, just like I'm feeling this energy of like I'm giving so that I can get something in return, not so much giving from a place of like love, but this is from a place of like, this is what I have to do. I have to give for this, okay? And there's also, a sense of a lot of emotions being looked at right now. I feel like there's so much more to say just from these cards right here. And yet, I'm having such a hard time formulating it. So, I hope that I'm pretty sure you could see these pretty clearly. So I hope that, you can kind of take a look at these as well and really feel into what these cards bring up for you, because I do feel like for some part of the collective, this brings up a lot of emotions. Okay, this isn't a light reading. This is a pretty deep reading of claiming your energy. Claiming your energy over something that you know did not deserve your energy. Okay, the Stars card. Shining stars bright in the sky bodes joy from afar where happiness lies. In starlight, dreams come true, hope is in sight, success is in view. I mean, again, we started off with a card that really just embodies everything that we unpacked in these cards. All right, like this was just the unpacking of all that was put into this one card. So I'm hoping that that this feels complete. I mean, it feels like a complete reading, and I mean, I don't really feel like um, what I want to say is that it's not like there's a lot of more guidance needed on how to navigate this. It's like it feels like the energy, it's doing its thing, and as long as you can stay in a place of balance and not get overtaken by emotions that are coming up, and to be able to observe them with just with reverence of what's coming up, to be able to take care of yourself when you need to take rest when you need it, to take action when it's called for. um, you know that is all going to help, remove whatever these lower vibrations are within, that are playing out in your life. And there's this reminder that, even though it may not look like, there's advancement or growth, they're showing me right now a tree and the way that the tree grows. And it might be my guide, my Oja tree, my Oja diet wants to come in and remind me that the tree's roots first must grow down through the dark, right? The roots have to find their way through the dark to find, their anchor in that before it can move up towards the light. So first we go into the darkness, and we really like anchor and pull from that like nourishment of that shadow. We can't like the you can't have light without the shadow, and vice versa. It has to grow, and sometimes we have to go into those shadows to be able to really gather um, to be able to gather the the resources, the whatever we need from that, to be able to then move up and burst through and cut through those dense energies so that we can reach the stars and move forward with balance and forgiveness and lightness of being, and an open heart, an understanding heart that can then hold others, hearts as well, like the King of Hearts, the King of Cups. All right, such beautiful energy. Thank you so much for joining me with this reading, and for contributing in whatever way, just listening is a contribution. Thank you very much. I am available for personal readings. My email is in the description. I will never, ever say that tarot should in any way dictate decisions or, anything like that. I think these are, the tarot cards are so much more about taking us into deeper reflection of who we are and why and how we think, and it gives us a lot of questions and things to mulch over, and it really definitely takes us into the realms of the unseen. And so take it like that. Take this information like that. I didn't realize that was so lopsided. Sorry. All right. Till then, please keep the channel on love. I don't know why I say please before that. If you want to keep the channel on love. I hope so. Oh, man. All right. I'll see you soon. Take care.